They thought it was just another night, just another victim, just another girl who would scream, cry, and then disappear into silence. These were four men who shamelessly branded themselves as the Grape Gang. They brutalized and defiled young girls and women at random. Incredibly, no one could ever identify these men. Not even the victims themselves could do so in order to bring them to justice for their evil acts. They were so meticulous with their identities until one day they messed with the wrong girl. Ija was the kind of town where everyone knew everyone by face. Dusty roads, old wooden kiosks, and a river that hummed like it carried secrets. Naya lived quietly there, a seamstress, stitching clothes by day, reading by lantern light at night. She was soft-spoken and known to be very pleasant to her clients. Yet, she was almost invisible, sewing away quietly in her little house. But one may know that bad things are inevitable to, let's say, some good persons, and that's rather unfair or unfortunate. And all that was what Naya was going to face, yet with unexpected, mind-boggling consequences. One humid night, as Naya walked home from a late customer delivery, a car screeched to a halt beside her. Four men stepped out, reeking of alcohol and arrogance. Naya kept walking, perhaps not fast enough, as in just a split second, she felt her feet being lifted off the ground. Just like that, she was dragged off the side of the road into the thick bushes nearby by those four men. She thrashed about, screamed as high as she could, but no one could hear her screams. They then stuffed her mouth with a cloth to keep her from shouting anymore. The men took turns defiling her, a few beating her up whilst in the act, until she went limp. Satisfied with their diabolical act, they got into their car and sped off into the night. Well. First and foremost, what they didn't know was they shouldn't have done what they did. For that they were not going to get away with this time, and not by the court of law. Something else was going to happen. Naya's body lay broken and bleeding, her soul shattered. So as the men laughed and fled, something peculiar literally started to stir in the earth beneath her. Now, her grandmother, once a powerful priestess, had whispered a protection curse long ago. If ever my bloodline is broken by violence, the shadows will rise and answer. And so that night, the shadows answered. And it started with the first man, the ringleader of the grape gang, nicknamed Boss, who laughed the loudest that night. And even after that, he kept on laughing, still reminiscing about what they did to Naya. 3 days later, he stopped laughing. He was found in his one-room apartment, body twisted, mouth still wide open in a scream, his eyes looking pitch black. One would think they've been gouged out. Neighbors swore they heard him shouting Naya's name before silence fell. The other men, despite the strange details and circumstances surrounding Boss' death, tried to brush it off. Boss was drunk maybe. Oh, it was a stroke. Or he overdosed on speedball, they said. But whatever killed Boss came for them too, in tenfold. Yao, the second man, was dragged from his bed by invisible hands, leaving claw marks on the cement floor. Mensa, the third man, crashed his taxi at full speed. As most witnesses swore the road was clear, a few claimed they spotted a shadowy woman nearby where the crash happened. And so one by one they were claimed, except the last man, Kwame. He wasn't claimed yet. He realized this wasn't ordinary. He locked himself indoors, prayed day and night, and carried a Bible wherever he went. But every mirror he passed showed Naya's face, staring at him with hollow eyes. Even the food he was going to eat showed Naya's face. He confessed to listening ears, begged for forgiveness. He made attempts to flee town. But evil doesn't let go once it has your name. And what of Naya? She returned home days after the attack. Her wounds mysteriously healed, but she wasn't the same. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Naya was alive, but she was no longer alone in her own body. Her soft girl demeanor seemed a facade now, with a huge storm brewing inside of her. Kwame was eventually found lifeless near the river, his chest crushed as if by invisible arms. And Naya, she walked calmly past his body, eyes fixed on the horizon, her lips whispering to the shadows that trailed behind her. The men, they chose the wrong victim. As for the people of Ija, who were shaken to the core by the strange events surrounding the men's deaths, as well as learning of their evil acts prior, were never the same. Some started to see one another differently, realizing that the ones you think you know too well might be hiding terrible secrets, or worse, are not what they seem to be. And back to Naya. With those shadows awakened in her, she chooses who lives and who disappears next. Today's story ends here. See you in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Beware and take care.